Now, for the biggest stories this week, you know how we do it here on the show. Amber and John, I'm going to show you a package of clips, and they're going to be referencing major news stories from the past week. And you watch the package and tell me what's the story. Here we go.
Okay, swirly maps, clouds. Now, this person is wasting their lives scrolling on the internet.
Oh.
Pinocchio.
And
Just Italians enjoying one another's lives.
I think it has to do with conspiracy theories about the hurricanes.
Ooh, final answer.
Misinformation about recent hurricanes being used as a political tool. Yes, because even in an election year, we can't even agree whether or not it's damn rain coming out of the sky. This week, Florida was devastated by Hurricane Milton just a week and a half after the region was hit by Hurricane Helene. And of course, we hope everybody stays safe and we send everybody their best.
Sounds very insincere the way you said that,
well,
right?
I did this with my hand. That's how you know it's sincere.
Oh, really? That's the movement?
When you go, yeah. We wish a speedy recovery to everybody that's affected, and we also wish a speedy recovery to this reporter.
And the water now is really starting to pour over. If you look at the graph, whoa. Okay, that wasn't good.
Well, he ain't been blindsided like that since Chris Cuomo slid in his DMs. And why is Anderson Cooper out there?
Why is he out there? It's so unnecessary.
He is taking black jobs. Yes. In the days leading up to Milton, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis spent a lot of time criticizing Vice President Kamala Harris. Who can tell me what miscommunication led to Ron's problems with old Kamala?
Well, she called.
Right.
She called. She said, hey, how you doing?
How dare she?
He wouldn't take the call.
And he said he'd just spoken to the president.
Points on this side.
Oh.
It was a missed phone call. According to a DeSantis aide, the governor was refusing phone calls from the vice president before the storm, adding, quote, Kamala was trying to reach out and we didn't answer. Does anyone know what DeSantis said about Kamala's call?
He thought it was political.
Why did she do that?
You're right. He thought it was political.
Points! Ron said Kamala was just trying to score political points. Take a look.
She's the first one who's trying to politicize the storm, and she's doing that just because of her campaign.
That's right. I ain't got time for political games. I'm too busy trying to evict Princess Tiana from the Magic Kingdom.
What a bananas thing to, like, bitch, you got time to get some money? Well, you don't, how do you want the aid or not?
Well, there's a little button at the back of her neck. Just push it, she will reset.
I don't understand.
No.
The morning after Milton, the White House said, quote, DeSantis thanked the president for the extensive federal support. He also thanked these boots for extensive arch support.
Yes. Jaunty boots.
My bad bitch disaster boots, baby. DeSantis criticized Harris, though, for trying too hard in Florida. But Republicans also mad at her for not doing enough in North Carolina with their hurricane recovery efforts. How did Senator John Kennedy criticize her mishandling of relief efforts in North Carolina?
I don't know what he said, but was it with a big, dumb, fake Southern accent?
Ooh, partial points there.
Okay.
She's talking about tampons. You know, the people in Appalachia right now don't give a function about tampons. You cannot make this stuff up.
But he did make it
Sure
up.
did.
They all made it up. They all made it up.
Don't give a function?
Don't give a function.
Shit, that's nice. Don't give a function.
Bonus question. Can anyone tell me who fact-checked Trump on Kamala visiting North Carolina this week?
I thought we agreed not to do that.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It was Fox News.
Wow.
Here's Trump talking to Laura Ingraham.
But she shouldn't be there anyway. She should be, I would say, North Carolina is bad, is so bad. And
she was there today for 3 hours, I believe, Kamala Harris.
But can we go back to that? Was it me or did it look like Trump was playing Deal or No Deal in a bar? I'd take suitcase 47 apiece. But it is hard for anyone to help hurricane victims with misinformation about the storms all over the place. What has State Rep and Haunted Hayride decoration Marjorie Taylor Greene been saying is responsible for the storm?
Jews. It's Jews. It's always Jews with Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Well, the answer is not the Jews. The answer is Noah. Not the dude with the
He was a
art.
Jew?
Yeah. Okay, sorry. The Jew, period.
The singular Jew.
Yeah.
Noah.
The National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration.
Administration.
No.
Administration Berg. Say the whole word.
This week, Large Marge made a post doubling down on her claims that, quote, they can control the weather, adding, quote, if your home or business or property is damaged or loved one is killed by their weather modification, shouldn't you be eligible for compensation? I just love that she said, shouldn't you be entitled to compensation? Like it's one of the mesothelioma commercials. Then you be watching Judge Mathis and have you or somebody you love been affected by the space laser hurricane? Call the number. Question for bonus points. How did Trump suggest killing superstorms back in 2019?
Oh, this is one of his greatest hits.
Yeah.
Shooting them with a gun?
Close.
What is it?
A
Very
big gun.
close.
Special nuclear weapon gun.
Nuclear weapons. Yeah.
According to Axios, at a White House briefing, Trump said, quote, why don't we just nuke them? They start forming off the coast of Africa. As they're moving across the Atlantic, we drop a bomb inside the eye of the hurricane and it disrupts it. Why can't we do that? For bonus points then, why can't we nuke a hurricane? But even with all the arguing and misinformation, Republicans have found one person to rally behind. This AI-generated girl holding a puppy.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
An RNC National Committee woman, Amy Kramer, posted it saying, quote, this picture has been seared into my mind. My heart hurts. Broken heart emoji, crying emoji. Then, when people told her, hey, that's not a real photo, she doubled down saying, quote, y'all, I don't know where this photo came from, and honestly, it doesn't matter. It is seared into my mind forever.
But there's a serious point to all this, which is that all the conspiracy theories around it actually stop people, A, from being rescued, because they think if the government's creating the weather, then they won't reach out to government services to rescue them. And then the first responders are now subject of attacks.
And on top of all that, there was a girl with a puppy that I just saw.
All right, Michael and Joanna, your turn. Watch the clip. Tell me what's the story.
All right, microphones. We got somebody talking. More microphones, but nobody's talking this time.
Chairs.
Yep.
Yeah,
and then this person's
chairs.
thinking, softball, swing and a miss.
So this is about Kamala Harris. The media complaining about Kamala Harris that she's not doing their serious interviews and instead she's doing softball interviews.
Triple points over here.
Triple points.
The story is Vice President Harris went on a media blitz this week to help voters get to know her better. Her strategy, leave no demo unpandered to.
Kamala Harris.
Madam Vice President.
Playing the bat dance for Madam Vice President.
La vicepresidenta Kamala Harris.
Enrique, thank you.
Kamala Harris's media blitz included non-traditional outlets like the podcast Call Her Daddy. How was one of the most popular women's podcasts in America characterized by the media?
Well, I think they pretended they'd never heard of it, right?
They called it an abortion factory? I'm just guessing the shit they would say.
Wow. Sure. I'll go with that.
No.
We're teammates to the end.
No, of course.
Everything I say, you back it up.
I definitely...
Now you say it. Say the words I say.
I definitely want to say...
Say it.
Abortion factory.
She's right. They insulted the podcast and pretended they never heard of it.
Right.
Alice Cooper, the host of the podcast, says her podcast is about day-to-day issues facing women. But here's how the media described it.
The Call Her Daddy podcast, as you mentioned earlier, it's graphic sex talk.
The Ron C. Sex podcast. The sex podcast, Call Her Daddy.
I looked up the Call Your Daddy podcast and Neville podcast, and I can't use the names of most of the titles of the episodes on your air right now.
I guarantee you at least one of those guys pays her good money to call her daddy. The mainstream media has criticized Harris for not talking enough to the press. Was this latest push enough to satisfy her naysayers?
No. People who want her to answer more questions because they don't know enough about her aren't looking for answers. They know everything they need to know about her. What they want to know is, how can I come up with an excuse to not vote for her? Because, like, give me something so that I can not vote for the sane, serious person and instead vote for the town drunk.
Though Harris reached millions,
right?
Today's audience is particularly black. The number of times they've all gone,
Though Harris reached more millions of viewers than all the cable news shows combined, you're correct, John. Not everybody felt she did enough.
And she's got such a big problem with men, black and white men. Big problem, but also the business world. They don't think she is serious. They don't think she's a heavyweight. And a lot of this is gender.
You think, Andrea? You think some of that's gender? you think some of that might also be racial, Andrea? What are you thinking, girl? Because I'm curious.
I mean, but everybody knows if you want to prove that you're serious about running for president, you first must get charged with wire fraud. That's...
Then you have to go and access Hollywood and tell people that you grab them by the pussy. And that creates the kind of gravitas we're looking for in a president.
Harris' media tour swung by the Howard Stern show. She also swung by The Late Show with Stephen Colbert on Wednesday. What thing did Kamala do on Colbert that men love?
She drank beer.
Oh, I thought it was going to be she kissed another lady. That's what I thought it was going to be.
Points just for her.
Yeah.
Points for her. Correct. She cracked open a beer.
Ooh,
the champagne of beers.
There you go.
Did seeing Kamala kick back an old Miller High Life, did that make you want to vote for her?
I got to be honest, Roy. You know I'm an undecided voter.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, well, who could I have a beer with?
Right.
And I didn't think it was going to be Kamala. Then I saw her drinking the champagne of beers. And I thought to myself, she thinks she's so much better than me. I'm voting for Trump.
Well, I don't know if she's got our vote, but she's definitely got this guy's vote.
I drank beer with my friends. Almost everyone did. Sometimes I had too many beers. Sometimes others did. I liked beer. I still like beer.
Does he still like beer?
He's in the Supreme Court now. He likes bribes. Kamala wasn't the only one to sit down with alternative media personalities this week. Does anybody know what alternative media Trump sat down with?
It's one word like detacher or
Trump sat down with the Flagrant podcast with Andrew Schultz.
Because I'm basically a truthful person. But and frankly,
That's the type of fact checking that our journalists could be doing. Just laugh in his face. Don't even bring up, well, in 2018 you said this lie. No, just laugh in his face. So the story is Kamala Harris went on a whirlwind media blitz where she pandered to the boys on Howard Stern, to the girls on Call Her Daddy, and to Joe Douchebag on Colbert.
I still like beer.
That was disrespectful. I should have said Justice Joe Douchebag. Those were the stories. We'll have more after this.